just very excited that you're here.
I don't think the microphones are on.
No, they're not.
Shabbat Shalom. Check 1, 2.
Just stand a little closer. We can. You want me to? If you want to turn it up, could we turn it up? Okay. Thank you.
טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד.
Please join us.
מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה יאללה יאללה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה יאללה יאללה. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד.
So 2008, the interim congregation I served was on the south side of Chicago, KM Isaiah Israel, right across the street from the Obama's house. And so there was Secret Service security when it was President Obama as a candidate. And then when he became the candidate, they started bringing in the fire trucks and the concrete barriers to move him around. And there's this really big guy. And, he's kind of supervising, and I walk over to him and I say, "Hi, I'm Darryl Crystal. I'm the rabbi." He looks me up and down and he says, "I know who you are." And it was Tom. He was wonderful to work with. But it's always nice if people know who you are. So please take a moment. We have new folks here, people that know Aaron, people that know everybody in the congregation. So please turn to someone and wish one another Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Both waters are for you.
Thank you.
We continue now on page 24 with Shalom Aleichem, our song for Shabbat.
Let's sing together. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachi Amlachi, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Borchem Shalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech Malachi Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'Shalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech Malachi Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem l'Shalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech Malachi Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yai la la la, yai la 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 la, yai la la la, yai la la, yai la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai 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 da da da, yai la 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 la, yai da da.
I'd now like to invite Julie Littman, who was the chair of our search committee for Aaron, to come and do a more formal introduction.
Shabbat Shalom. As the rabbi said, my name is Julie Littman, and I am the chairperson guiding the search committee for our next cantorial soloist. For those that attended the Taste of North Shore this week, we really had a great time, didn't we? Yes. A big thank you to everyone who had a hand in putting such a successful evening together. Are there any cantorial search committee members here tonight? And if so, could you please stand? These are the congregants that took the time to find the right person for our cantorial soloist opening. I want to extend a warm welcome to our Friday night regulars, dedicated temple members, the staff, and our guest, Mr. Aaron Katz. Aaron is a music director, teacher, song leader, and a candidate finalist for our cantorial soloist position. He grew up in Worcester, Massachusetts, and the son of Temple Sinai's cantor. Aaron currently teaches, entertains, and collaborates with Jewish professionals and lay leaders in various local locations, including Epstein Hillel in Marblehead and Temple B'nai Abraham in Beverly. I want to thank Aaron for his time, and we are all looking forward to hearing you tonight. Thank you.
The word for soul in Hebrew is a neshama. There's, somebody who's really kind, a good neshama. There's somebody who has a Yiddish neshama, a Jewish soul. These are all for you. And then there's another term for soul, a neshama yetera, meaning an extra soul that we get on Shabbat. And in that spirit of what is an extra soul on Shabbat all about, this is a poem, a prayer of joy by Alden Salovey. God, thank you for joy and delight, for wonder and awe, for moments of gladness and celebration. Grant me the ability to breathe gentleness into my hours and seasons, so that I may live awake to beauty, to holiness, to the radiance that surrounds us. Grant me the wisdom to arrive each day with passion and humor, with song and dance, with smiling eyes, in service to myself, in service to others, in service to your holy name. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish, page 26.
Yitkada v'yitkada Shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Yamad divra chirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayechon uv'yomeichon uv'chayet kol Beit Yisrael bagala uv'izman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach Le'olam u'lam me'almaya Yitbarach v'yishtaba v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei d'Kudusha b'richu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma imeru.
Please rise in body, posture, or spirit for the Baruch Hu on page 28.
Yalalai lai lai, 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 yalalai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalalai lai lai, yalalai lai lai. Sing with me. Oh, yalalai lai lai, yalalai lai lai, yalalai lai lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hamevu ya la la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Celebrating creation, we read together on the top of page 29. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech, let us bless. We read together on the bottom of page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works, and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. We join in the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. We join in the V'ahavta on 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Passover is fast approaching. We remember God's saving power in Egypt. And we also remember with sadness the suffering of the Israelites, the suffering of the Egyptians. And our hearts are with everyone who is suffering right now, all of the innocent people in Israel and in Gaza. And each week more and more, I pray that the leaders will stop being stubborn and will open their hearts, cutting away the hardness of the heart that Deuteronomy speaks about, to allow kindness to come back into the world. We read together on the insert our prayer for Israel. We gather together in faith and with hope to pray for peace and safety. Help us, O Holy One, and protect us in our hour of need. Touch our hearts, lest they harden with despair. Guide our thoughts, lest they are overwhelmed with fear. Bring strength to dear ones held hostage, for all the innocent of Israel and Gaza, and comfort those in mourning. Healing for everyone who has been injured, courage to those living in fear. Protect the soldiers of Israel. Watch over all the caregivers in Israel and Gaza. Send wisdom and compassion to all of those who lead. Inspire them to bring peace. Yedid Nefesh, beloved one, reveal yourself and fill the world with your light. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Be quick, God of love, for the time has come. Have mercy upon us, eternal one of peace. We continue on page 40 with Micha Mocha.
This is the Elena Arian version. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Try to sing that with me. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, micha mocha nehedar b'kodesh, norati Lo sefele no rotehilo o sefele ya la 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 ya 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 la la
We continue with the Shamru. The Shamru is on 44.
Shamru b'nei Israel et Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדור את המברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדור את המברית עולם ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדוretom berit olam. Ki sheshet yamin asa Adonai, et hashamayim v'et ba'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat lasot et hashabat לדוretom berit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat lasot et hashabat לדוretom berit olam.
We continue with the tefillah beginning on page 46. Please rise in body, posture, or spirit.
Adonai sifatai tifta ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'mitenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Hagorah, El Elyon, Gomel Asadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Aseh Avot V'imahot, Umevii Gola Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Yahava. Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol, Tarav Lehoshia.
Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem,
Mechalkei Hayim Bechesed, Mechayim HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umedom Elach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah hayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol.
Page 53. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence like lightning illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue now with our own prayers and the prayers of the Tefillah, which go to page 60. Please be seated when you've concluded your prayer. Mishaberach imotenu va'avotenu. Our God, God of our mothers and fathers, God of Sarah and Abraham, Isaac and Rebekah, Leah, Rachel, and Jacob, as you've been with our ancestors, with all who are in need of your healing, send them refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, healing of body, mind, and spirit. God, as we begin to move into spring and then to summer, as the light grows and as the warmth grows, may all of those in need of healing feel the light and warmth of your love. May it bring them strength. May it bring them confidence and ease. Sustain all of their dear ones with your goodness and love. Guide everyone who takes care of them to have skilled hands and understanding hearts. We offer our prayers for Elaine Toll, Nadav Ephraim Kammer, Nadav Ephraim ben Shulamit Leah, Adrian Klein, Kenny Berkowitz, Lois Berkowitz, Marie Curie, Eileen Feldman, Pauline Spirito, Dennis Aikman, Kim Peterson, Lori Bacalar, Mike Walsh, Brianna Brothers, Yaakov Chaim ben Shlom Sviv Abrina, Sandra Mosk, Paul Polachek, Roger Landy, Gary Friedman, Joan Kramer. Are there others we add? Thank you. Thank you. And all of those we hold in our hearts. Baruch atah Adonai Rafeha Cholim. Blessed are you, O God, who sends strength and healing to the ill. Amen. We join together to sing Mishaberach.
Mishaberach avotenu mekor abracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Aaron, thank you so much. You're leading us this evening is just so beautiful. The way that your neshama shines as you lead us, the heart that we all feel, and just your love of Judaism and music.
Thank you.
You're going to be a real gift to the congregation.
Vic, I just want to say I am getting a little emotional. There's a few pauses tonight. I keep looking out at my wife here to try to hold it together, but it has been a little more of a surprisingly emotional experience for me. So thank you for having me, and thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom. We continue with Masoro Tovo. Does anybody have joyous or good news? Yes. Let me give you the microphone so everyone can hear you.
It's another birthday week with my family. My granddaughter turned 8 yesterday. My dad turned 99 last Friday, and I was spending the time with him. My son-in-law will turn, I don't know how old, on Saturday. And there's more to follow for next week. And my Aunt Betty's birthday is today.
Great. Anybody else?
It was mentioned briefly, but we had a really great night here on Wednesday night, and I think that some of us are still just glowing from it. It was a really nice night for our community to be together and to celebrate, have some great food, and also just to spend time with each other in a really happy environment. So I thank everyone that was involved with that, and of course I want to echo that we're happy to have Aaron here with us this evening.
Yeah, and when you see the people on the committee and the staff, that everybody worked incredibly hard and worked with love. So, please do thank them.
The pulpit exchange last weekend, and I attended, and I have to say that you were a blessing to our community. It was wonderful, and your sermon. Your voice carried and your stories were told, and you left a message and warm feelings with everybody there. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, it's really wonderful, and like I told the group, I had a conversation with Rabbi Meyer, and he said after Pulpit Exchange weekend, if you go and you don't see your shadow, then it's only 2 weeks left until spring. Great. Anybody else? It's all wonderful being together this evening. Hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit without the glare as we go on. When I was in my third year of rabbinic school, I was on the committee that got to help with the orientation of the new students. They were just coming to Cincinnati, and to say the nervousness was palpable would be an understatement. What would the professors be like? How do I balance my study and outside work? What's it like living in Cincinnati? And at one point, my friend Larry, he was the chair of the group, and he didn't know it, but he was offering prophetic words. He said, I want you to know one thing. You can make your experience here at HUC heaven, or you can make your experience hell. And the college will support you in whatever decision you make. The story, though, talks about the way our worldview can shape our experiences. There are some. There was actually just an article last Sunday in the opinion section of the New York Times who see the world continually through the lens of deficit, what's missing, what's not there. And then there are others who see the world through the lens of bounty and gratitude. In Judaism, thankfulness and gratitude are foundations of religious life. One of the most beautiful examples, we'll be reading it in the Passover Seder in just a few weeks, is found in the book of Deuteronomy. When the people are entering the promised land, they're told that they're going to bring offerings, the first fruit of the harvest, to God. And the words that they're going to say are, when you enter the land the Eternal your God has given you, take some of every first fruit of the soil which you harvest. Put it in a basket and bring it to the place that the Eternal your God will choose. You shall go to the priest and say, I acknowledge this day before the Eternal that I have entered the land the Eternal swore to our ancestors to give us. The priest shall take the basket from your hand, set it down, and recite a prayer in front of the altar. The words that we'll then say in the Seder are, my ancestors were fugitive Arameans. They went down to Egypt, and then they were redeemed. I now bring the first fruits to the eternal God. In the ancient world, this ritual helped to see that the bounty was not solely the work of their own hands, but was also a blessing from God. In Judaism, the idea in a tradition called Musar, the ethical tradition, is called Hakarat HaTov. It's called holding that which is good. Like the student, like Larry said, who could experience school as heaven or hell, a practitioner of Musar develops character traits. Essentially, they find a lens with which to see the world in special eyes. Ellen Morinus, in the book Everyday Holiness, it's a guide to this practice of Musar, talks about gratitude. He says, when you open yourself to the trait of gratitude, you discover with an accuracy how much good there is in your life. Whenever you are lacking, will still be missing, of course. In reaching for gratitude, no one is saying you ought to put on rose-colored glasses to obscure these shortcomings. The obstacles to appreciating the good can also be very real. Recognizing the good affirms life and more, because when you see the good in the world, it sets your heart free to soar, to shout, to sing, to have a life of joy. Let me give you one of my favorite examples. You know, I've gotten as an interim rabbi to take all kinds of training. You know, I have done some stuff at Northwestern and at Harvard. Have to drop the name of the school, but I've also done Disney and Zappos. And what does a rabbi learn at Zappos? That's another sermon. And but I learned from Dr. David Cooperrider. He has this idea called appreciative inquiry, and it really learning this way of looking at the world, really had just shaped everything I do from the time that I studied with him. Appreciative inquiry deliberately seeks to discover people's unique gifts, strengths, and qualities. Everyone is asked to speak about their vision of the true, the good, and the possible. Appreciative inquiry builds momentum and success because it believes in people. It really is an invitation to a positive revolution. Hakarat HaTov from Musar can be a difficult idea. While the practice looks positive, it can be hard when we think of human tragedy. At the same time, I was moved by this example that Alan Morinus shared in his book. It's about the lens with which we view the world. He said, "A woman wrote to complain about problems with the course that I had. I thought giving her a 50% refund was more than fair." He wrote her, and he got a very nasty response back. He was going to write back an equally harsh email, but then he focused on gratitude. How could he see things from her point of view? He then began to look at the situation from her perspective, and this shifted the way that he responded. Let me give you my favorite example of Hakarat HaTov and appreciative inquiry in action. One interim congregation I served throughout its history had just many, many different difficulties. There was controversy with their founding rabbi. There was controversy with the associate rabbi when he became the senior rabbi. There were problems. They bought a building from another synagogue. There were problems with the building. The bank called a loan. There were all kinds of things through the years. And there was building, there were staff issues. But at the end of the year, I had a meeting with the executive committee. And it actually had been a great year. I asked them, what were the successes this year? And when you look back, they had 2 temple shows. They put on a music festival. They raised money to do some repairs on the building. Any congregation would say, this is a banner year. I then asked, what have been the successes through all of the years of the congregation? They spoke about great programs, about how they came together when they had problems with the bank, about how they had a very meaningful discussion when there was a decision that the rabbi would officiate at interfaith weddings, that everyone felt included. Wow, thought to myself, wow, great success. And then I said, does anybody have any questions? Got question 1, I got question 2. Question 3 from a past president. Can you tell us how we're dysfunctional? I wasn't trying to be rude or dismissive, but my answer was no. And when I thought about it even more later on, if you looked at the things that happened to them, 98% of them were out of their control. A bank, a building, had no control over it. So the question for this congregation was not how were we dysfunctional, but how again and again did you come together as a community and create this community that can do so much good in the world. Hakarat HaTov, the lens by which we view the world. In our world, oh my God, the headlines, they just give me a headache. The sensational headlines about this sphere and that problem. Schools where, you feel if as a student, I'm always going to get the wrong answer. I've got to achieve. And in our work, what problems are there going to be? But we grow when we look at the world, when we affirm life and think of the good. I want to end with 2 last pieces. A beautiful example comes from my friend Danny Siegel, a poet, and he did all kinds of work encouraging people about tzedakah and mitzvah heroes. And he gave a modern interpretation of a passage from the Talmud. It says, everyone must recite 100 blessings every day. I'm not going to read all 100, but they're there on the back of the sheet. Setting aside the prescribed rituals, here are some of the things he shared. The sun, rain, lungs, our hands, a child sleeping in innocence, blessed food, overcoats, shoes, an overcoat that not only makes me feel warm, but also allows me to feel like a mensch, our compassionate heart, mitzvahs, words, blue and orange, the open highway leading to nowhere in particular. Communicatable well-being, insight, challah, wisdom, a hearing heart. And the last piece I want to share with you comes, do we have a picture of a person up here? Good. Comes from Rabbi David Zeller. Fascinating rabbi. He, really came from the counterculture in the 60s and 70s. He has a book about all of these fascinating people that he met through the years. And he's a composer. And, he studied Eastern religion. He studied Sufi thought, yoga, music. And I had the opportunity to learn with Rabbi Zeller for a week. He had a warmth and a radiance, an amazingly gentle soul. As we think of Hakarat HaTov, a life of gratitude, this is a beautiful song by Rabbi Zeller, and it's performed by Rabbi Jonathan Kliegler and members of the Woodstock congregation. It's a beautiful piece. Shabbat Shalom. We continue on page 282 with the Aleinu. Please rise in body, posture, or spirit. Celebration. continue now with the Kaddish.